Hello? Oh, you heard me. Oh, you don't believe what I did. Flip. There's a button on the side of my headphones and I had pressed it by mistake earlier. Now everything's lighting up. Please let me know you can hear me. Thank God. Ah, stupid bugger. Oh dear. Right, now it's working. The next time I go to do it, I'll have forgotten it all again. I guess practice makes perfect. Wait till I make you all mods. I don't think we'll get any flatties in, but you never know. Moderator. Moderator. This is quite weird. And much of a delay. I don't know how I would find out. Anyway, so the plan was to come on and do a live reading. These books here are, wait, no, get a Kindle back up. These books here are the ones that I have not read so far. No, this is through Streamlabs. At some point I'll figure something out so I can get other people in, but I'm just lucky this is working just now, so I'm not pushing my luck. I was going to let you pick a story for me to read, bearing in mind some of them are quite long. That's quite long. That's long. That's obviously long. And this one's got lots of different stories in it. Bear in mind, if I read one in this, I'm still going to record it and put it up later. Because not everybody's going to come to any live streams. You still hear me? All three of you? Pick a short one then. Okay, I will. What will I do? Or I could do one of my older ones again, if you'd rather. A library. These are the Pepanoris. I could do one of the older ones again if you want, or a new one. I'll maybe just do an old one, just because this is like the first. Live stream. I know, we'll see what's in here. These are stupid. Whoop. Straight the fuck at home. That was a borrowed one. I think I gave it back, so I would have to go and hunt for it again. So you, Kindle Unlimited, you get to borrow books like a library, and then you give them back when you've read them. Okay. They're just politically correct bedtime stories. Okay, we'll go with Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood. There was once a young person named Red Riding Hood who lived with her mother on the edge of a large wood. One day her mother asked her to take a basket of fresh fruit and mineral water to her grandmother's house. Not because this is women's work. Oh, I've started now, Hugh. Not because this is women's work, mind you, but because the deed was generous and helped engender a feeling of community. Furthermore, her grandmother was not sick, but rather was in full physical and mental health. And I need to move the chat. And was fully capable of taking care of herself as a mature adult. So Red Riding Hood set off with her basket through the woods. Many people believed that the forest was a foreboding and dangerous place and never set foot in it. Red Riding Hood, however, was confident enough in her own budding sexuality that such obvious Freudian imagery did not intimidate her. This is weird. On the way to Grandma's house, Red Riding Hood was accosted by a wolf who asked her what was in her basket. She replied, "Some healthful snacks for my grandmother, who is certainly capable of taking care of herself as a mature adult." The wolf said, "You know, my dear, it isn't safe for a little girl to walk through these woods alone." Red Riding Hood said, "Hi, casual." Red Riding Hood said, "I find your sexist remark offensive in the extreme, but I will ignore it because of your traditional status as an outcast from society, the stress of which has caused you to develop your own entirely valid worldview. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be on my way." Well done, Hugh. Red Riding Hood walked along the main path, but because the status outside society had freed him from slavish adherence to linear Western-style thought, the wolf knew a quicker route to Grandma's house. He burst into the house and ate Grandma, an entirely valid course of action for a carnivore such as himself. Then, unhampered by rigid traditional notions of what was masculine or feminine, he put on Grandma's night clothes and crawled into bed. Red Riding Hood entered the cottage and said, "Grandma, I brought you some fat-free, sodium-free snacks to salute you in your role of a wise and nurturing matriarch." From the bed, the wolf said softly, "Come closer, child, so I might see you." Red Riding Hood said, "Oh, I forgot you're as optically challenged as a bat. Grandma, what big eyes you have." "They have seen much and forgiven much, my dear." "Grandma, what a big nose you have. Only relatively, of course, and certainly attractive in its own way." "It has smelled much and forgiven much, my dear." "Grandma, what big teeth you have." The wolf said, "I am happy with who I am and what I am," and leapt out of bed. He grabbed Red Riding Hood in his claws, intent on devouring her. Red Riding Hood screamed, not out of alarm at the wolf's apparent tendency towards cross-dressing, but because of his well-fit invasion of her personal space. Her screams were heard by a passing woodcutter person, or log fuel technician as he preferred to be called. When he burst into the cottage, he saw the melee and tried to intervene. But as he raised his axe, Red Riding Hood and the wolf both stopped. "And just what do you think you're doing?" asked Red Riding Hood. The woodcutter person blinked and tried to answer, but no words came to him. "Bursting in here like a Neanderthal, trusting your weapon to do your thinking for you," she exclaimed. "Sexist, speciesist. How dare you assume that women and wolves can't solve their own problems without a man's help?" When she heard Red Riding Hood's impassioned speech, Grandma jumped out of the wolf's mouth, seized the woodcutter person's axe and cut his head off. After this ordeal, Red Riding Hood, Grandma and the wolf felt a certain commonality of purpose. They decided to set up an alternative household based on mutual respect and cooperation, and they lived together in the woods, happily ever after. That was weird. Weird. I think we'll go with the dog and the cat. What do we think? I'm only going to do a couple because I don't want it to run out. Wow, some lag. sable. Yes, it's politically correct stories. There's quite a few. Casual. So I'm going to do the Ladybird book of the dog. Oh, hello, Farmer's Boy. I just read a story, you're too late. I'm going to do one more and stop because this is weird. I don't know if I like it. I need to figure out a way to get other people in. It took me long enough to get the sound going because I hit the button on my headphones. So, nobody's answered me. The cat or the dog? Oh, hang on. I'll give it some wrenches, eh? It's start, Pip. What does that mean? Oh, the dog, the cat. Okay, we'll go with the dog first. Yous are getting to hear these, but I will be recording them and putting them up as well. Okay, we'll go with the dog. Preferably corgi. How it works. The dog. The dog is often called man's best friend. Dogs are reliable, loyal and loving, like all best friends. They also smell like a bauble hat full of corned beef that's been left on the parcel shelf of a locked car for a fortnight during a hot spell. But there are some things you don't mention to a best friend. Some people say dogs can start to resemble their owners. Thin people have thin dogs. Happy people have happy dogs. This dog's owner is an award-winning Viennese rapper come architect who collects antique surgical equipment and likes to put flowers in his salads. Dogs can be trained as special helpers for people with many sorts of conditions. Toto is training to be an asthma dog for people allergic to dog hair. Tomorrow she's being varnished and sealed before meeting her new owner. Maisie and Joey are in the garden. Everyone watches while Joey runs in energetic circles. They cannot understand what he's doing. Joey is chasing air around the garden, of course. Siobhan only buys Columbo, the best food. It's grain-free, single-protein, holistic, hypoallergenic and certified organic. You love it, don't you, boy? Says Siobhan. Columbo does love the food, but he'd be just as happy to eat his own sick. Oh, who's come in? Ilya, hello. Dog and man have been friends for many thousands of years. Dognald is going to bury his owner's dinner in the garden, in case any hyenas or jackals or saber-toothed tigers come and try to steal it. Oscar knows that if he pops his head up on one side of a human's chair, he will get a little bit of what the human is eating. Then if he pops his head up on the other side of the chair, he will count as a different dog who has not had any food yet. Dogs are cleverer than humans, thinks Oscar. Catch the ball, Mop Top, says Richard. Richard does not throw the ball. Mop Top runs for a few yards, then comes back for more, wagging his tail. Richard wishes anything else he did in his life could make anyone as happy as not throwing a ball makes Mop Top. Littleton is confused. There are 2 non-dogs in his bedroom. Now his bedroom will smell of the non-dogs. Littleton will have to make his bedroom smell nice again by weeing all over it. Pippin loves her new toy. She chews it and chews it, and chews it and chews it and chews it and chews it, and chews it 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 and chews it. She will lose all interest when she finds out there is no meat inside. Ah, poor Dolly. George Harrison, one of the Beatles, was a devout Hindu. Hindus believe in reincarnation, that they will come back to life in another form. This might be George Harrison. If so, George Harrison likes the ball. Weird. Lorna comes home and finds that Muffin has had a little accident in the kitchen. She shouts at him and rubs his nose in it. Muffin wonders what has upset Lorna. He decides it was the noise the front door made just now when Lorna came in. Muffin goes and scratches the door to teach it a lesson, but Lorna shouts at him again. Poor Muffin can get nothing right. Steve's wife says he should walk rather than get the bus. I don't need to, says Steve. I did 100,000 steps with Barney in the park this morning. Steve doesn't mention that he attached his Fitbit to Barney's collar while he slumped on a bench with a Cumberland sausage bap. That sounds about right. So far this week, Jenna's dog, Trubshaw, has eaten a sweat sock, a pair of in-ear headphones, the contents of the brown recycling bin, and an aromatherapy candle. Good boy, Trubshaw, says Jenna when he drops a hat at her feet without eating it. Jenna hopes this does not mean Trubshaw has eaten a Cub Scout. Once a week, Patsy vacuums up all the dog hair in her house. When she's finished the sofa, she will do the carpets, inside the oven, in the powder tray of the washing machine, between the pages of the book she's reading, and behind the wallpaper. How did it get there? Laughs Patsy, coughing up a hairball. Dogs do many jobs for man. They have been trained to hunt, guard, retrieve, track, and herd. Biggins has been trained not to bark while Vince steals a lamb, and not to eat the lamb until Vince has casseroled it. Ali and Joe's babies are called Bubble and Squeak. They have booties, jumpers and bow ties, and at their joint birthday party they both wore tiaras. Ali and Joe go to church every Sunday because they hope to get Bubble and Squeak into a Catholic obedience school. Oh my goodness, what a name. Marlborough Perignon Kerwiz is a pedigree dog. She's the highly prized result of many years of careful inbreeding. Her owners, the Duke and Duchess of Beaumarch, are the result of a similar process. The first animal to orbit the Earth was a dog called Laika. Dogs are good at orbiting, as long as they've been trained not to stick their heads out the window. Dogs change over time. In the 16th century, this Prussian tin hound's shiny coat was highly prized, and the animal was bred to exaggerate it. A modern tin hound played the part of K9 in Doctor Who. John is dog sitting. Pickles keeps barking at the fridge. It can't be these sausages, thinks John, because there's a dog called a sausage, and a sausage called a hot dog. Dogs are not cannibals. John gets Pickles a lovely plate of butter. Pickles cannot wait for John's sister to get out of hospital. John is not really a dog person. Benji has found something. It looks like a spiky mouse, thinks Benji. I bet it's good to play with. It's not good for Benji or for Benji's owner, but it is good for the vet, whose bill is over £400. Dora's big dog Pugwash has frightened a little girl in the park. Pugwash would not frighten anyone, says Dora. The little girl was frightened, said the policeman. Well, he never frightens me, says Dora. The policeman can see in Dora's eyes that the case is closed. Beano dreams he has been invited to a party to celebrate the defeat of the human oppressor. Those fools, laughs the cat in charge. How did they not guess we'd been planning their overthrow for tens of thousands of years? Why did they think we agreed to live in their awful hot homes? Beano doesn't understand the politics, but he's delighted to be allowed up in the furniture. The end. Hello, Bo. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think 2 will do for today. Hopefully I can work this out again. That had a corgi in it. What did it, Hugh? Wait, we'll try and find it then. You remember what page it was on? Name the dogs. Little echoish. Okay. Thank you, farmers. I was kind of bored because there was nobody in Discord, or, well, Eden and Scott were in, but did I miss it? Oh, there you go. I think the stupid looking things, corgis. Oh yeah, John gave the corgi butter. Found it. Audio's like you got the mic in a pipe or so. Oh, God. Listen, you're lucky I get any sound at all. It was horrendous at the beginning. If I'm going to do this kind of thing, I'm going to have to buy myself a decent microphone. Which I will do eventually. So I'm going to finish up now if I can figure out how. Thank you everyone for coming. And hopefully it won't take so long to get going the next time. Bye for now.